Let's start with Thomas Sowell today and see what he says about the Buffalo school system. Because we just, or well, I'm sorry, the Chicago school model. Since we looked at, right, the Buffalo, New York model. What the fuck is happening over there? Let's look at the Chicago model.
Chicago's public schools are not just failing, they're being funded to fail, and they are not alone. Across the country, we see the same pattern of catastrophic academic outcomes, rising budgets, and a wall of rhetoric shielding every adult in the system from blame, except the parent.
Except
The
apparently, yeah.
most dangerous idea in modern
Well, I mean,
education
they're also
isn't
using
just that
right
money
lawfare too,
solves
right?
everything,
They're
it's that
lawyering
no
up.
amount of
They're
failure
some of these
matters
lawyers are
so
telling
long
them
as the
to
people
do
presiding
this,
over it
right?
claim to be acting with compassion. But as I've said many times before,
So
there are
there's
no
an added
solutions, there are
layer
only
to it.
trade-offs. And Chicago has been trading away literacy, numeracy, and opportunity in exchange for political symbolism, union leverage, and
Oh yeah, the
moral
union too.
posturing.
Yeah, so you got the
Let's look
union
at
stuff,
what that trade-off
right?
has cost. In 2023, Chicago
That's
Public
another
Schools
layer.
spent over $29,000
The
per student,
lawyers, the
more than
unions,
double what
all
it spent
telling
just a
them to do
decade
this kind
ago.
of stuff.
That's a 70% increase in inflation-adjusted dollars. The average Chicago teacher now earns over $100,000 per year, not including pension and benefit packages, many of which allow retirement in their 50s with full
Hmm.
benefits. In theory, this spending was an investment, a moral necessity. The teachers' union argued that better compensation would produce better outcomes. The city agreed, the taxpayers paid. And what was the return on that investment?
Nothing.
In dozens of Chicago
Didn't do
schools,
nothing.
including some with more than 300
Didn't
students,
do
not a
nothing.
single student is proficient in
Yeah.
math or reading,
If
not
anything,
one.
it
No, we're
it
not
it,
talking about
it
underperformance. We're talking
fucked
about
up,
total
right?
collapse.
More money
This is
didn't do
not an
fucking shit.
accusation.
If
It is a
anything, it
documented
lowered,
fact. Chicago's public schools were a private business. They would be bankrupt by now.
right? It lowered the
But
kids'
in government,
proficiency in all
failure is
aspects of
not
learning.
punished. It is hard to imagine a more stupid or more dangerous way of making decisions than by putting those decisions in the hands of people who pay no price for being wrong. And nowhere is that dynamic more entrenched than in government education.
Hmm.
City officials, school
Oh
administrators, and
yeah, I mean,
union
just look at what's
representatives all
happening
talk
to,
about
right?
justice,
They're just
equity, and
activists now,
opportunity. But when the
right? Some of
results
their
are measured,
schools
they
and teachers
plead
are telling them
context,
to go do
complexity,
this
and
kind of
nuance.
stuff.
They remind us that many children come from difficult environments. They never explain how that excuses a school system in which 0% of students are literate. This isn't compassion, it's evasion. In recent years, Chicago's education policy has shifted from academics to activism.
Yeah, there it
The
is.
central mission is
Even
no
he
longer to
knows.
teach students reading, math, or science. It is to cultivate awareness, identity, and anti-oppression. The language is sophisticated, the outcomes are catastrophic. Under the banner of diversity, equity, and inclusion, the school system has
Well, they use
implemented
soft
policies that
language
excuse
and
failure,
microaggression
dismantle
to
standards,
get
and
what they want.
punish dissent. In charter schools and their enemies, I
It's like,
documented
dude, get
how
the fuck
entrenched
out of here.
interests, especially unions and bureaucrats, fought relentlessly to block educational alternatives, even when those alternatives produce dramatically better
And then
results
when they get
for
called out,
low-income and
they just
minority students.
they go
Why?
in
Because when
turtle
students escape
defense
failing
mode or
schools, the money
fucking
leaves with them.
aggro mode
DEI
and
now functions
fucking
like
come at your
ethanol
throat.
subsidies or unfunded pensions. It justifies the continued transfer of taxpayer dollars to systems that do not work on the grounds that to question them is immoral. When I wrote about government programs like ethanol subsidies, I focus on opportunity cost, the resources consumed by what doesn't work, and what that prevents us from doing instead. It's easy to see money going into public schools. It's harder to see what that money could have done elsewhere.
Hmm.
We don't see the charter schools that could have been
Funded,
funded,
yeah.
these scholarships that could have lifted families out of dead-end systems. tutors, vocational programs, or school choice
Yeah,
expansions
I
that could
mean,
have made a difference.
even just
Instead, the money goes to higher salaries, more
homeschooling,
consultants, and
right?
entire departments tasked with managing
Could have gave
perception
those
rather than
that money to
performance.
homeschooling
As
teachers. I
with
don't know.
pensions, the costs are long term and largely invisible until the system collapses under the weight of its own promises. One of the great myths of modern education is that everyone in the system wants to fix it,
Fix
but
it, you know.
failure pays. When test scores decline, schools get more money. When
Yeah.
inequity is reported,
I mean, and
departments
that's
grow.
not really
When
right.
outrage
More money doesn't
builds,
really do
consultants
anything
are
to
hired.
fucking solve the problem.
Bureaucracy expands to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy. In Chicago, this dynamic is not accidental, it is entrenched. And when parents complain, they're told the real problem is systemic racism, a catch-all excuse that allows everyone to
No,
claim
it's your
virtue
kids
while
not
evading
paying attention in
responsibility.
class or just
The
fucking
data is
around.
not racist, illiteracy is not liberating, and decades of handouts to underperforming
Yeah,
systems
yeah,
have
some of these
not
kids want
closed the
free
gap, they've
handouts, and it's
widened
just
it.
like, sorry, it doesn't work like that.
The real victims of all this are not the politicians, not the union bosses, not the consultants. They are the
Yeah.
children. Children who go through 12 years of school without learning how to read. Children who are told they are empowered even as they are left utterly unequipped.
Mm-hmm.
Children who were used as pawns in ideological battles
Yep.
they didn't start and won't benefit from.
Yeah.
And because the
I mean,
city
that's why
insists
they
that
target the
outcomes
kids, right?
are the result
Because
of
they're the most
oppression,
malleable.
not
They're
instruction,
the most easy to
these
corrupt.
children are taught to see themselves as victims rather than agents of their own future. That's not progress, that's moral sabotage. We already
It
know what
is.
works. In city after city, charter schools have shown that disadvantaged
Yeah,
students
you
can learn
literally have
and
your own
thrive when
citizenry
schools are free
sabotaging your own
from
youth.
union mandates and
It's fucking weird.
ideological capture. I highlighted this in my work on charter success in places like Boston and New York. There, students from low-income Black and Hispanic communities outperform their white peers in traditional public schools when given structure, discipline, and high expectations. But what happened? Those schools were attacked, defunded, and capped, not because they failed, but because they succeeded outside the system. Success threatens a system built on grievance. And so failure is preserved in the name of equity. Chicago's schools are a warning, not just a tragedy. They are the product of a worldview that values intentions over outcomes, equity over excellence, and rhetoric over reality. In a world where failure is funded, standards are optional, and truth is negotiable, the people who
Yeah.
suffer most are the ones who had the least to begin with. I've never believed in utopias. I believe in trade-offs. And the trade-off America is making right now, sacrificing academic excellence on the altar of political symbolism, is one we will all pay for, because the illiteracy cultivated in these schools doesn't stay in these schools.
Well, it sounds like they're
It enters the workforce,
fostering,
the
right,
voting booth,
ghetto
the criminal justice
behavior,
system, the next
right?
generation. Chicago is getting paid to fail, but the bill is being sent to the rest of us.
Right, they're fostering, right, they're trying to foster the slang culture, right? It's bad. And then when they go out into the real world to like get jobs or try to, right, do higher education, they fail because they're fucking illiterate. They don't know how to do math. They don't know how to converse with people because they get fucking aggro or get microaggressions because they get set off. So, yeah. It's unfortunate. Oh yeah, I forgot to Hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the whatchamacallit Call it podcast on there. Where is it?
Accountability? Buffalo.
But yeah. Same with the, right, just like the Chicago school system, right, that Thomas Sowell was talking about. Happening in the, right, Buffalo school system in New York as well. So yeah. Just adds more data points on the table, right? What do we got here? 7 people arrested for allegedly helping escaped inmates. Oh, is this the New Orleans stuff?
For seven accomplices now accused of playing a role in the escape of 10 inmates from New Orleans.
Yeah,
One week
okay.
into the escape, 5 inmates remain on the run tonight, and a tactical unit arrested a man, Emmett Weber, in New Orleans East for allegedly helping some of those inmates. WDSU reporter Jasmine Franklin is live with more now, breaking down the new details, Jasmine, about others who are
So it was
accused
an
of
inside
aiding
job.
and abetting.
Interesting.
Right, Stella, police have been responding to tips all week long while searching for the 5 remaining escapees. Now, those tips did help them find the first 5 inmates, but they're also right now searching for people they believe assisted those escaped inmates.
I think, this has been a very long week. We do appreciate all of the tips that we've gotten.
1 week after 10 inmates ran out of the Orleans Justice Center, 5 have been captured and 5 others remain on the run. And while the search for the remaining inmates intensifies, law enforcement is cracking down on anyone accused of helping. These 7 people have been arrested in connection to the escaped inmates.
We are absolutely seeing tips that are naming individuals that may have helped. And obviously it's breaking the law at this instance.
In court Friday, bond
Wait,
was
were those
set at $1
employees of
million
the...
for Casey Smith, accused of helping at least 3 inmates. We also learned about a new family connection between the alleged accomplices. Court records show Casey Smith is the cousin of Courtney Harris, who is also accused of assisting inmates. Lawyers claim Harris and Smith were in a car together and got a call from one of the inmates. Harris is accused of driving 3 inmates around after their escape. Smith's lawyer says she has no
accomplice
connection
after
to
the
It's a difficult
after
situation
the
you're putting yourself in. And when you look at now these individuals who have been arrested and will serve time, most likely, that's a serious message that
Well, I
people
mean,
out
yeah,
there who are in
they
this situation now,
aided criminals in
need to take
escaping.
heed.
Yeah, that's aiding and abetting, right?
And tonight, state police continue to stress that any family or friends assisting those 5 remaining inmates could also face charges.
Accomplice
State police and
to
the FBI say they
escape
will continue
escape
working
convicts.
tirelessly until they find the 5 remaining inmates. Reporting live in New Orleans, Jasmine Franklin, WDSU News.
Jasmine, thank
Oh, they turned off the comments. Wonder why. There you go.
6.
Fairfax County's police chief released body camera video today showing a deadly shooting. And in that video, the chief says it shows that the man who died was intent on killing a police officer.
The exchange of gunfire happened during a traffic stop April 23rd near the Greenbrier Town Center. 2 officers were also wounded in that incident. As Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey reports, the police chief credits a young cop for saving the lives of his fellow officers. A warning, you may find this video disturbing.
The police body cam video shows the trouble started from the moment the officer pulled over Jamal Wali for having an expired safety inspection sticker, and Wali slams on the brakes. When the officer reaches the car, Wali tells him he has a gun, wearing it in a holster.
That was a heck of a stop, sir.
I have a gun and I'm armed, I'll let you know. So why did you pull me over?
Your inspection sticker expired.
The video shows Wally is clearly agitated and angry, shouting and cursing, refusing to give his name, telling the officer he doesn't have a driver's license or registration.
Armed, refusing to give ID. Don't reach for anything, dude. Don't unbuckle that.
I'm telling you, don't reach. I'm telling you, don't reach. I don't give a damn.
Wally begins complaining about his treatment in this country. Married and the father of 4, he came here in 2014 after working as a translator for U.S. forces in Afghanistan. The officer repeatedly trying to calm him.
The system is broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, he sounds
Well,
like
sounds
a
like
just
you're
a
going through a really
disgruntled
rough time.
person who's fucking
Man.
aggro about something.
I should have served with Taliban.
Wally starts his GoPro. As he continues to reach toward his gun, the officer calls for backup. Wally making a cryptic statement. Today's the day.
Today's the day, buddy.
Just seconds after 2 other officers arrive, one positioned at the passenger side, Wally racks around into his gun, and as one officer grabs his arm, he fires at the 2 officers on the driver's side, the same bullet hitting each one of them in the arm. We are freezing the video here, but Wally's own GoPro camera shows he tries to reload and shoot the other officer, but Ian LaChapelle is able to fire first, striking Wally. The chief crediting the young officer for
Yeah,
saving
there you
his
have it.
colleagues.
We also realized in this particular scenario that we're very fortunate that we didn't have 2 police funerals. His actions, his deployment of that deadly force saved the lives of the 2 officers who were on the driver's side of the car. There's no doubt about that.
Kevin Davis also says the officer who made the traffic stop did his best to de-escalate the situation, but the chief believes Wally's "this is the day" statement, his decision to turn on the camera, all signs he intended to kill.
Those are all indicative that he probably perhaps anticipated trying to kill a cop. And in fact, he did try to kill 2 uniformed Fairfax County police officers.
Once the use of force investigation is completed
Yeah.
here, the findings will be turned over to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. But Chief Davis says that he expects that Steve Descano will find the use of force was justified
Northern
and that no
Virginia,
criminal charges will
Fairfax.
result. In Fairfax County, I'm Julie Carey, News 4.
Chief Davis says Jamal Wali's family did view that body cam footage. And this wasn't Wali's first run-in with police. Just days before the shooting, he was pulled over for driving on a suspended license, and he was charged in 2018 with eluding and resisting arrest.
Yeah, he was that was weird. An aggro Afghan guy. It didn't make any sense. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. He just went full fucking psycho. Trying to kill people. What do we got here? All 6 passengers aboard private jet that crashed. Oh yeah, so this is about the
through the debris and
the crash.
devastation left behind by that small jet.
Specifically, they're looking for any clues as to what caused that plane to go down. And today, the investigation is revealing new details about the moments leading up to the crash and about the people on board. NBC7 Shelby Bramer joins us now from Murphy Canyon. She's got the latest. Shelby.
Yeah, Mark, Nichelle, there are still a lot of questions at this hour, but we have learned some new details today. Just within the last hour, we learned the identities of all 6 of those victims on the plane, and we also got some new information from investigators who say they'll be on scene here for the next 2 to 3 days.
Wake up! Fire!
Panic across the Murphy Canyon neighborhood as the wreckage of a Cessna 550 burns and residents frantically try to escape. More than a day later, a very different scene. Investigators sifting through the rubble as they search for evidence and answers.
No, the airplane was not equipped with a flight data recorder.
The NTSB says the private jet destined for Montgomery Airport hit a power line 2 miles southeast before crashing down onto Salmon and Sample Streets, igniting a massive blaze.
It hit a power line?
The agency now
Why the
confirms
fuck was it
2 systems
close
were
to a
out at the
power
airport
line?
at the time of the crash. One that gives weather conditions to pilots, down since Tuesday.
Are
due
you
to an
saying that it
unrelated
was
power
in a
surge, as well
in a
as
flight space
visual
area? It shouldn't
There was
have
airport
been.
lighting that was out that would have affected the illumination of the runway.
But aviation expert Jim Kidrick says it's not clear if that played a role at all.
He didn't get to a place in the sky that the runway lights on or off would have helped him.
Believed to be the pilot was Dave Shapiro, who co-founded a music agency called the Sound Talent Group. He was one of 6 on board.
He was an adventurer. He was somebody that
Sorry, I
took a
sneezed.
chance on life. That's how he liked it.
Also on the jet, drummer Daniel Williams, formerly of the metal band The Devil Wears Prada. 2 Sound Talent Group employees. Emma Hook, a booking associate from Orange County, and Kendall Fortner, who graduated from San Diego State 4 years ago. Dominic Damien, a longtime friend of Shapiro, and professional photographer Selena Kenyon. Still, many questions remain as the investigation and the community look to move forward.
We will continue to investigate pilot qualifications, training, flight history, and other human factors that may have been involved in the accident.
The Sound Talent Group gave us some new information about their employees that I want to share with you. They said some of your favorite bands wouldn't be on your playlist right now without Shapiro, who they said would give you the shirt off his back. Fortner's family said she taught herself to play a variety of instruments and said she was the life of the party. Hook's family said there was nothing she loved more than live music, calling her a force of nature. There's still so much more to learn about this crash in the months ahead.
Well, there you have it. Oh, and there's a, what was that, AI telly if you want to see a, basically an AI rundown of how it might have happened, right? Oh yeah, the Yeezy sneakers, remember that? This is the one I was talking about. Murdered over some shoes. They were trying to sell some shoes or something, but then got caught up with someone trying to, steal it from them, and then, with the intent to shoot, to kill, because they pulled out a gun and shot inside the car. And, well, they killed someone.
4 years after
What's
Delia
this?
Johnson
Claudia
was gunned down.
Bonton.
4 years after Delia Johnson was gunned down on a Brooklyn sidewalk, her killer has been sentenced. Today, emotions ran high in court as Johnson's family finally got a chance to speak. And News 12 Shakti Dennis
So
has
I've been
covered
waiting
this
on
trial since its beginning.
Yeah, I've been
and she
waiting
was
on
there
this one.
Applause broke
I
out in the
thought this
courtroom as
person
a judge
was not gonna.
sentenced Claudia
Yeah, I was
Benton
wondering
to
what was gonna
23
happen to this
years to
person.
life
'Cause
behind bars.
a lot I forgot when this happened, but yeah, I saw the initial
The
incident.
sentencing marks the end of a 4-year
And it was
nightmare.
pretty fucking
The family
crazy.
of Delia
Just
Johnson shot
came at, yeah,
execution
just
style on a
straight
Crown
up
Heights sidewalk
executed
in
her,
2021.
and then ran away.
I am so glad that this
It's like Jesus.
In an emotional victim statement, Johnson's mother asking why and pouring her heart out to Banton, a woman she considered like a daughter who even lived with the family at times.
It felt good because it was a release.
46-year-old Banton listened with tears streaming down her cheeks as Johnson's family described feeling betrayed.
Yeah, it was fucking insane. Just straight up
Johnson's
executed
21-year-old
her.
daughter, currently deployed with the Air Force, appeared by video in uniform, struggling to put her pain into words, saying at least her mother didn't suffer. Banton didn't address the family for legal reasons, according to her attorney, but he says her silence shouldn't be mistaken for indifference.
But it's very difficult for someone to absorb that type of speech from people that you know and love.
The judge even grew emotional as she spoke about
Well, I
the
mean,
deep,
yeah,
lasting
they
pain Johnson's family has
You
endured.
thought they were like she was a daughter to them, and then they just killed.
Claudia
It's like
Benton's defense
they
attorney
shot
says
one
he's
of their
working on an
sisters.
appeal.
Right?
But for now, Delia Johnson's family says they can finally
It's
begin
like they
to
killed
heal
another
now that
family
justice
member.
has been served.
So it's like, Jesus,
in downtown
fuck.
Brooklyn, Shakti Dennis, News 12 Brooklyn.
Pretty rude, fucked up. What do we got here? Phoenix pastor and church indicted in $60 million fraud scheme. Uh-oh.
New tonight, a Phoenix pastor and his church have been indicted on felony charges in what state prosecutors allege is one of the largest fraud cases to date in the sober living home scandal. 12 News journalist Bram Resnick has details on the alleged $60 million fraud scheme and what the pastor's lawyer is saying. Bram?
At Tram, in all 20 people were indicted. They're tied to the alleged scheme involving billing for mental health and substance abuse treatment for clients who are either dead or in jail. The 26-page indictment alleges that Happy House Behavioral Health was paid over $60 million by the Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System, known as Access, by billing for clients who were, quote, deceased, incarcerated, or hospitalized. Money laundering charges allege that Happy House paid $5 million in July 2023 to Hope of Life International Church in Northwest Phoenix. The church,
is that a
haven
drone
for
that
East
they're
African
using?
migrants, later wired $2 million to an entity in Rwanda.
Uh-oh.
Now, Happy House's offices are in a leased
Uh-oh.
building on the church grounds. The lawyer
Damn,
for the church
all
pastor
these
says he knew nothing
interesting
about the
how
alleged
there's a
fraud.
bunch of people
Just because he rented his property out,
spending or donating a lot of money to Africa places, countries, right? States and countries, whatever, right?
So what the Attorney General's office is trying to do is
Interesting,
they're trying to
interesting.
deflect blame from their own incompetence of allowing this fraud to take place in over less than a year.
The indictment alleges the sober living fraud began in August of 2022. Democratic Attorney General Chris Mays took office several months later in January 2023, then initiated a crackdown on what had become widespread fraud. The main victims, Indigenous men and women who never got the treatment that the state paid for. Now, according to the Attorney General's office, the sober living home scandal has cost the state an
Kind of
estimated
sounds like
$2
the
billion
USAID system.
since the crackdown started 2 years ago. About $150 million
there's
in
even
cash
that
and
one
assets
photo of
have
the
been clawed back.
USAID system that was floating around. Remember that fucking photo? Let me see if I can find it.
Thank you.
And it showed like terrorist motherfuckers, right? Where is it? Right here. These motherfuckers. Right? Fucking USAID shit in the background. Yeah, that that I think you could still kind of find that photo running around on Twitter. Just look up USAID, right? Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of shit happening. What do we got here? 3 arrested in Denley Pioneer Square shooting. Uh-oh. Another shooting. It's dead! It's dead!
Well, first at 5, Seattle police arrested 3 people they say are responsible for a trio of murders outside of a nightclub. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matthew Smith.
I'm Hannah Kim. The shootings happened early Saturday morning in Seattle's Pioneer Square neighborhood. Again, 3 people died, including a teenager. 1 person is still in the hospital.
Fox 13's AJ Janavel has been talking to investigators about how they tracked down the suspected killers.
Investigators tell me a SWAT unit moved in Thursday night and arrested all 3 suspects at the same apartment in South Seattle.
This was a brutal murder that occurred.
For days, investigators searched for killers in the community, while the families of August Lestrap, Breon Dinesh, and 19-year-old
yeah,
Kehlani
Seattle
Harris
is another hotbed of issues.
It's not fair.
Waited for answers. On Thursday night, Seattle police say they found those answers.
I know that our SWAT team took him into custody, and they made 3
Right,
exceptional arrests.
there's a lot of
Detective Eric
places,
Munoz
right?
with
There's a
Seattle
hotbed
Police
of
tells me
places in the
investigators
United
discovered
States you should
all
probably
3
like
suspects
be
hiding
careful
out
of,
at this
just because of
apartment
how high
complex
crime
in South
is in those
Seattle.
areas.
In the home, investigators reported they found 7 guns. In court on Friday, neither of the suspects appeared for their hearings. Court documents break down the violence that happened early that morning. Probable cause report says the suspects waited outside of Ohm nightclub in Pioneer Square, then ambushed the victims, firing dozens of rounds, hitting 4 people and killing 3 of them. The probable cause documents say
Outside of a
surveillance video
home and
captured the
nightclub.
suspects, not just during the shooting, but leaving the scene and at a convenience store earlier that night. Investigators said one of the accused shooters claimed he was in Oregon the day of the murders, but changed his story when he saw himself in the surveillance footage.
Oh, he's in Oregon and then sees himself in the photo. Oh,
pretend to be God and take the life of
See?
someone else.
Police
Yep,
officials say
people
they
will lie.
arrested 3 suspects
People will
in
lie
connection
to
these
your
murders,
face when
but
they've
only
been caught.
2 of them had hearings in court behind me. Officials with the prosecutor's office tell us they are still waiting for those charges to be filed for that 3rd suspect. Reporting in Seattle, I'm AJ Janavel, Fox 13
they
News.
have to. Capitol rally. Look about. Oh yeah, there's that fucking tank rampage. I forgot about that back in 1995. I was I was just a baby, so I didn't know anything about it when it happened. What is this? Oh, this was 1 hour ago? Oh shit. What is this? Yeah, don't pull it.
A chaotic scene today.
Get
23
down,
people
bitch.
now arrested as police and protesters clash, as you saw there, in a Seattle park this afternoon. Good evening, all. I'm Michelle Esteban. Thanks for joining us. We were there as protesters and police clashed at Seattle's Cal
is
Anderson
it
Park.
fucking
Prior to the
Antifa?
arrest, we know protesters and counter-protesters were in Cal Anderson Park. Hundreds were at dueling rallies. Police say at one point some of the protesters began throwing objects at police, and that is when officers moved in. KOMO's Karina Vargas joins me now, and she is there, and she was there when this all unfolded. She joins us live with what we know about how this all went down.
Yeah, which movement is it
Yeah,
this
Michelle,
time?
things quickly turned chaotic. We saw several physical altercations as well as multiple arrests. Now, police did just confirm that they have arrested a total of 23 people, and our cameras were there the moment it all unfolded.
Back up, bitch! They're all still wearing masks, by the way.
Anderson Park. When what started as a
Man,
counter-protest quickly
a
escalated,
bunch of police officers
clashes
on
with police.
bikes fucking
Police say
going
objects were
after
thrown at
people.
both May Day rally goers and officers.
Get the fuck back, bitch! Get
The
the
protest
fuck
was in
back.
response to a rally, May Day USA, which was organized by On Fire Ministries, a religious pro-life group that promotes a 2-gender ideology.
Oh.
Critics call the group's message anti-LGBTQ+ and anti-trans.
I think they have some very
Wait, what? Huh? I'm sorry, what? Wait, they're a religious group that do not like the 2-gender ideology, right? And they're pro-life. What? I don't.
dangerous ideas and very intolerant for all people, and I think they came to Cal Anderson Park in a provocative way.
Cal Anderson Park was named after Washington State's first openly gay legislator. Counter-protesters say the
I
event is
don't.
disrespectful.
This just sounds like
We're not going to
Antifa.
stand
I
for
don't
it.
just.
We're going to resist it every step of the way.
Just an amalgamation
As the crowd
of
grew,
shit
so
that
did the
don't make
tension.
sense.
As verbal altercations turned physical, Seattle PD
Yeah, just
deployed
look at them in
officers
their little
riot gear and
tinfoil
used
hat
bicycles
helmets
to
and
hold
shit.
the line. Those with Mayday USA say they came here to spread peace.
There's one guy, he's
Spread
kicking off
peace?
every water. We've not
What?
shown any violence, even with everything they've been doing, kicking, pushing people. I just saw a guy push a girl.
Well,
We're
I
just
mean,
gonna
that's
laugh
not
at it.
true when there's 2 or 3 people that apparently got
Police
tagged.
tell us that one officer sustained an injury but was treated and released from the hospital. Police also tell us that 22 of the people that were arrested will be charged with assault and obstruction. They also tell us that they had arrested one juvenile for obstruction, but that they were released. For now, reporting live in Seattle, Karina Vargas, KOMO News.
Karina, thank you. A lot more to follow up here on this story. We'll be doing that today, tomorrow, and through the week. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell weighing in, putting out a statement just in the last half hour. It says, in part, Seattle is proud of our reputation as a welcoming, inclusive
I mean, when
city
you start,
for LGBTQ+
when you start getting
communities.
physical,
And we
I mean
stand
that
with our
the
trans
police have
neighbors when they
every
face
right
bigotry and
to
injustice.
do
Today's
whatever
far-right
they
rally
have
was
to
held
like,
here for
hey,
this
you
very
need to
reason
fucking knock
provoke
that
a
shit up.
reaction by promoting beliefs that are inherently opposed to our city's values in the heart of Seattle's most prominent LGBTQ+ neighborhood. In the statement, he also claimed anarchists infiltrated the counter-protest group and inspired violence. He's directing the police department to complete an after-action report of the event to understand preparation, crowd management tactics, and a review of the arrest, as well
I
as
mean,
any
it just looked
citations.
like a group of Antifa motherfuckers trying to start shit, right? San Diego-based dermatologist charged in an alleged 1.3 million insurance fraud scheme. Isn't that one lady from The View, what, Sunny Houston or whatever, hit her husband is also caught up in some federal insurance fraud scheme that he was trying to pull with his fucking liposuctions and right. Yeah. I think he was a whatchamacallit, he was a facelift guy. Plastic surgery and shit.
California's Attorney General has filed felony charges against a La Jolla doctor accused. California's Attorney General has filed felony charges against a La Jolla doctor accused of fraud. Rob Bontas says Dr. Gada Kassab charged Medi-Cal more than $1.3 million for services never rendered. Kassab was in a San Diego courtroom yesterday where she pleaded not guilty to 23 counts of fraud. She owns GK Dermatology of San Diego with offices in Mission Bay and El Cajon. Kassab is also a defendant in a civil case filed by Molina Healthcare. The insurance company alleges she submitted over $48 million in fraudulent claims. In regards to these charges, the Attorney General said, quote, "We will not tolerate fraud where individuals take advantage of Medi-Cal to line their own pockets, potentially jeopardizing critical, necessary medical services our most vulnerable residents
He was a
rely
fucking orthopedics and sports medicine, yeah. Yeah, accusing. Yeah. And then she tried to defend her husband on live TV. It was so fucking hilarious. She basically admitted that her husband was doing some fraudulent shit. And there's so many fucking people in this claim. This is why it's federal. Because it goes through all over the state, probably. This motherfucker was bringing other people for right. He was doing some interstate commerce shit. He was doing some illegal shit. Oh man, that motherfucker is cooked.
New tonight, people at a popular tourist spot in Osceola County.
Checkers employee kills customers over fast food order.
Spot in Osceola
Police
County
say,
running for
here we
their
go
lives
again.
last
Another
night. Deputies
incident
say
where
a
people
Checkers
get killed
employee
over food.
shot and killed a customer all over a fast food order. Good evening, I'm Greg Wormuth.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. We first told you on Eyewitness News at 4 that deputies arrested this man, Elijah McKee, for first-degree murder. This all happening in Old Town next to Fun Spot Kissimmee. Channel 9's Scott Martin is live after talking to people who were there. And Scott, this fast food joint is still a crime scene. Hard to believe this is all over an order.
Martha, and that's exactly what people were telling me out here as well, but the crime scene tape still blocking off the drive-through area.
Is that an
In
Arby's?
fact, I talked to one man who says that he had just grabbed dinner here at this Checkers before the
Checkers.
shooting.
I don't know
and
what Checkers
also
is.
workers here
Sorry,
at some of the rides and amusement rides here tell me that people started running when they heard the gunshots. A Checkers fast food location next to a tourist
it's like a
destination,
Rally's.
now an active crime
That
scene.
looks like Rally's.
Whole bunch of cops here. Like, it was scary.
A crowded hotspot where Kelvin Lindsay says he picked up dinner Wednesday night at Checkers, later driving by to find the entire area full
I don't
of
think
law
it has the
enforcement.
same food as Rally's.
From every entrance, there was more cops. And I was sitting here like, where are all these
They call it Checkers
officers?
over there.
You know, why they're here? What are they doing?
Because
And then when we
the
finally got
Rally's
to
has
this
kind of
area,
the
then
same design.
This was a concentrated area where a lot of officers was at.
Osceola County deputies say an argument between this man, 23-year-old Elijah Mackey, an employee at Checkers, and a customer got into an argument over a food order. That's when investigators say Mackey drew a gun and shot the customer.
It's just crazy. I mean,
Do you want to know why there's a
that
lot of
serious, you know what
black
I'm saying? It
fatigue?
shouldn't be that
Well,
serious,
because there's a lot of,
getting into an argument and
I
then
hate to
wind
say
up
it, but
taking
black
someone's life.
individuals
People working next to the
who are
Checkers
part
tell
of
me
these
they heard
crimes.
gunshots and everyone started running. They shut everything down for the
man.
night.
Just thinking about it, I probably would have took off too. And I don't know where I would have took off to, but it's far. So,
This is why so many
Mackey
people
was
have
taken into
issues
custody
with
Thursday and
black
faces
people
a first-degree
sometimes.
murder charge.
At
People
least
we
some
talked
people
to
do.
say there's growing gun violence that needs to stop.
people got to change. Like, learn how to control your emotions. Like, it's not that serious. A lot of things can get escalated to
Yeah,
that
honestly,
point because of misunderstanding.
it's not that serious. People just get fucking real aggro
The sheriff's
for some
office
reason.
telling us that the victim in this case
Yeah, real angry.
is Wesley Robertson. They say that he died from his injuries after being taken to the hospital. As for that suspect, he is in the Osceola County Jail tonight. Reporting live in Kissimmee, I'm Scott Martin, WFTV Tonight.
Another top Democrat busted in Trump-style mortgage fraud scandal. Who's this? Is that Adam
All right,
Schiff?
so today I'm going to talk about the allegations that surfaced about Senator Adam Schiff. He's the Democrat.
You probably got caught up too. No way. Killed over a packet of mayonnaise? You have got to be...
Some new details about
Stop.
a deadly shooting at a Checkers restaurant in Kissimmee.
No.
A worker allegedly shot a customer after he complained about his order.
Yeah, the victim asked to speak to a manager just before he was shot. Fox 35's Stephanie Buffmonte is live at that restaurant with the latest. So, Stephanie, that suspect was in court today.
Yes, and those new shocking details were released today. According to a witness, this could have potentially been over a packet of mayo. Now, one person is behind bars and another person is dead. And this happened in a busy area, as you can see, right in Old Town, which is near Fun Spot.
The defendant will be held pursuant
Dead
to
over
Arthur at no
fucking
bond.
food,
23-year-old
man.
Elijah Mackey in an orange jumpsuit and cuffs, making a first appearance in court Friday. He's charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Osceola County deputies say it was all over a fast food customer complaining about his meal. A witness said he was possibly asking for mayo packets. The arrest affidavit says Wesley Robertson asked to speak with the manager several times after ordering from the front window at Checkers Wednesday night. Deputies say That's when Mackey climbed out of a drive-through window, walked around the side of the building, and started arguing with Robertson. According to an arrest report, that's when Robertson used derogatory language to insult Mackey, and in response, Mackey pulled a gun out of his waistband and shot Robertson in the chest. He fell headfirst into the building. The employee ran toward the Slingshot ride and then to Celebration Suites nearby. We spoke with people staying there.
Can you imagine? You're just like, oh, let's go to Checkers. I want, a hamburger meal, or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, fucking
And
plop,
next
plop.
thing you know, you're gone. I mean, how does that happen? It's sad. It's really sad.
You don't know if you can ever voice your opinion, because somebody's going to pull a gun.
Former Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolone weighing in.
Yeah, people are getting for whatever reason. There's a lot of people who are unhinged, who have guns for some reason.
For them to defend their actions, and it's unfortunate.
A lot of fucking unhinged people with
He says
guns
it's
running
important to talk
around.
to your kids about controlling their emotions and lead by example.
Takes a much bigger person to basically step away from a situation like that. Be that person. Don't allow for someone to bring you down or take you on a path that you will regret later.
Yeah.
Now, the Checkers was closed yesterday. It is open right now. We reached out to Checkers for comment,
sorry,
but
you're a
haven't
bot.
heard
Get the
back.
fuck out of here.
Reporting in Kissimmee, Stephanie Buffmonte, Fox 35 News.
Stephanie, thank you.
So yeah, there you go. Fox 35 Orlando. It was over a packet of mayonnaise. Apparently, who knows? Oh boy. Oh, we'll watch that later. There we go. What do we got here? Matching mass deportations. Let's kick it off. Stop. Fucking Mel Gibson and goddamn. Why would you do such a thing?
Let me start out by saying this. If I offend anybody today, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
16-9. Easton leads the... If I offend anybody today, I don't give a shit. Let me start out by saying this. If I offend anybody today, I don't give a shit.
At the top of the second half, it's 16-9.
The fucking Tom Homan baby. Yeah.
That's why she commands $7,000 a year. These gals sure do make it look difficult.
Fucking dude, she's getting bullied by all the tall people. Dude, she literally got bullied by all the tall people right there. Fuck. God damn it. See, this is what happens when you play sports, especially basketball. You get fucked. If you're small, you're just gonna get bullied by all the tall people. Get the fuck out of here. Get this shit out of here.
Minor skill worth being so unattractive?
Fuck your shit.
That's for the fan to decide. Yay!
Get ready to fight MAGA? Yes, Oh, he's pretty nimble there. He can't kick anyone's head. He can only kick people in the legs, that's for sure. As a girl, I just hope that one day I have as many rights as a gun. What? What do you mean? You know that there is more gun control than anything? I don't think you want that kind. I too wish that one day women will be banned from polling stations. Yeah, I do. Some women should not be able to vote. Let's just say that. Some women are mentally ill. Yes. Transgender people. Oh yeah, that's right. They did do this. I forgot about this. Fucking hell. Yeah, they did classify. Yeah, they in Peru they did do this.
I'm on day 22 of my sit-in at the Austin, Texas Capitol. I am sitting here until Donald Trump.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Importing danger is not compassion. Foreign citizens are 3.5 times more likely to be arrested for sex crimes. British? Uh-oh. You said you don't like British girls getting raped. I support banning foreign college students. But Peter, tons of universities will go bankrupt. I already support banning them. You don't have to sell me. Magazine Biden's decline since 2019. Jake Tapper's book. God. That's a good one. I'm sorry. This is a good political meme. Sorry.
Guys like Adam Schiff and Shifty Pencil Neck. Pencil Neck.
Pencil.
He's a marvel. No, he's a structural marvel. He has a neck, and his head is like a watermelon, and his
head is like
how that neck can hold up that big, oversized, ugly head is hard.
No, don't say that. I have something that can. Where is it? Do I have it here? Anyways, there we go. Meme the left. Quote the day the gimme grants frickin' hits the nail right on the head. Peru knows the score. Maybe Trump kills me every time. Dude, the Tom Homan one was pretty good. Fucking the one of the saying it. Deportation shit. Oh my god. Plans to sit there for another 3 years? I don't know. Mel Gibson is a true American patriot and should be treated as what? Apparently he's making another Passion of the Christ, so I guess he wants to make another one. I don't know why. Oh shit, man. Anyways, there you go. Meme the left.